at what point do you understand that a site is ripe for flipping?
You need to sell when it grows. I think
you create a site, you fill it with content,
as soon as possible.
You get to plain and simple.
As soon as I can flip, I flip.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, at what point do you have this sensation that, okay, this is the time?
If I'm seeing that the site is growing, so it makes it attractive, it's making good. It's obviously a matter also of revenues and what kind of flip you want to have, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, as soon as possible is like it's worthless to flip a site for $100 for $3,000 unless you want to really just sell it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to have a serious flip, you just need
like a solid.
You
flip.
have a goal, and you go heavy on it until it gets that goal eventually. But if I just see how Google reacts to things. It's like, if I see that the site is in a good growth trajectory and I can keep growing it and all of that,
you'll
say it reaches a point. It reaches a point where I'm like, it's time to divest, because I'm not a good, I will say, I think it's not my strength to grow a site at that point. I think my strength is more starting something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's why I think flipping is important for me. And it's also a matter of how much capital you have in your bank account, really. And what kind of, and how your investment portfolio looks like, how much you want to allocate into riskier investment, less risky investment. For me, obviously I started with no capital. Was a broke student, and my first site I wanted to flip as soon as I got to, I think it was like 1.5, 2K a month profit.
Mm-hmm.
Then now I had a little bit, then I had another flip. Now I have a little bit more capital. So perhaps I can push more.
Mm-hmm.
I can push until a site gets to a higher level, while taking into account that the site can drop and I might lose everything. That's the thing. Like sites hardly go to zero unless you get a manual penalty, but that's another conversation. But it's so rare to get a manual penalty. You need to do something really shady or really, really aggressive. So, but sites can get penalized, and you're gonna just see like a huge drop. And I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, there is no right or wrong, because it depends on the case, but it has to be a good in between: selling when it's growing, selling when you still think it can grow, because you need to leave growth opportunities to your new buyer. That's what makes it. That's also what makes it attractive. And because and there is always the risk that it's gonna decline at some point if you have limited capital and all of that. I would say if it's a good sum and you don't want to build it into something bigger, maybe with other diversifying the channels, it's perhaps time to sell and cash in. But I don't know. I have friends that have totally different ideas. I have a friend, he's like, I mean, he also does well. That's what I said before. I mean, his idea is, I'm not gonna sell until I have 1 million valuation on the site. And it makes sense for him, because that's his only website. He's been focusing on it for the last 2 years. It makes good money. So it's not that far from that 1 million valuation. And I think it makes sense at that point. I would have probably flipped it earlier, just because I'm maybe more risk adverse. Having just one site for me and investing so much and knowing that this site is worth, probably site is worth, 500K, $500,000. And it's like knowing that site could drop to 100K with just one Google algorithm update. I'm like, man, I'm gonna take the 500k right now because, man, I'm a young guy. I'm still hustling, man. That capital is so important. That peace of mind. But if you're older dude, like there are like people that buy sites are often like accomplished entrepreneurs that come from totally different industries, and they're wealthy. They're wealthy individuals. They have a very high net worth, and they just want to buy a site to diversify, and they're fine. They might buy a site for 200k, and if they lose them, they don't care. For me, it will still hurt.